Right, Hamza Yusuf, thank you so much. And you'll be giving us more details of what is happening on the ground, even as residents, the electorates that the late Yusuf was leading in that county have to say and what they feel, the gap that has been left. But then away from that developing story, and the former cabinet minister, Simeon Nyachae, will be buried today in Kisii after funeral service at Kisii Stadium. Now, President Uhuru Kenyatta and a host of other leaders will attend the funeral. Nyachae died on February 1st at the Nairobi hospital. Now, KTN's News Muremi Mwangi is there and now joins us live. Muremi Mwangi, good morning. Over to you.
Good morning, Brenda. A bright, sunny Monday morning here at the Kisii Stadium as the country prepares to bid farewell to one of its longest-serving government technocrats as politician that served in different capacities, a Kisii political kingpin for a long time, an event that will definitely be about reflection into the life and times of the late Simeon Nyachae, having served different capacities in the government bureaucracy right from the colonial times to the first administration of the late Mzee Jomo Kenyatta down to the administration of the late Daniel Arap Moi, and also a stint in the cabinet of former President Mwai Kibaki, and definitely a big day here for the people of Kisii, and speeches expected to head in that direction. Now, the send-off ceremony was expected to kickstart from as early as 9:30, but I had a chance to speak to a senior member of the Nyachae family last night who hinted that they might alter the program a bit to begin around 10:30. Definitely expected to attract lots of politics in the speeches, but speaking to that member of the Nyachae family last night, the family has chosen to just confine the speeches to a few people to just contain the politics so that the key speakers are only those that need to speak at the event here. But to just get some reflection into the inspirations, the life and times of the late Simeon Nyachae, I am joined by the Member of Parliament for Ndiwa constituency. In our chat earlier, he did mention that what possibly gives some semblance into his political career and that of Simeon Nyachae begins right from the fact that his father was also a chief. The late Simeon Nyachae's father was a senior colonial chief also, and played quite a big role in the political career of the late Simeon Nyachae. Mheshimiwa, looking back at the life and times of the late Simeon Nyachae, looking back at his leadership style, what would you say the nation will miss of the late Simeon Nyachae?
Yeah, as you rightly said, the discipline which he had in the family setup, those colonial chiefs were so disciplinarian, and they instilled in us what can move you forward. Now, I admire one thing from the late Nyachae. One, it did not matter to him where you start. What mattered to him is where you are going and the effort you are putting and the discipline you have. You can remember in 1960, that is when he became a district officer. But he worked towards the ladder, becoming district commissioner, provincial commissioner, even chief secretary in that civil service. So the discipline, the faith, and also the hard work he put in it. He was somebody, I had a chance to meet him, was somebody who was very pleasant to talk to, but inside was disciplined and efficiency in what he says.
And just to pick it from there, when you talk about his efficiency, many remember his days in the office of the president when he served as chief secretary. Actually, cabinet ministers at that time either held some respect for him, or those that had issues managing their specific dockets would fear him. What would you say currently lacks in public service that would possibly be missed of the late Simeon Nyachae?
You know, the courage to say things as it is. And this came along, you remember when J.M. Kariuki was murdered, and the president's speech was to be read in that funeral, and there was high tension. It's only Nyachae who could do it, and he did it. So what is lacking now in our cabinet setting is the courage to stand up and even tell the president when he's wrong in a more respectful way. Nyachae had it. He could tell you something which is going very wrong, but he could tell you in respect, in admiration. If you are Mr. President, how about if you could do it this way? Not you are wrong, you can't, no. He was gifted in that way, and I think that is when Kibaki cabinet was rebellious. Nyachae was called in to help because of that decorum he had in even arguing cases which could be wrong anyway. Yes. The other thing which I remember him also is principle. When something is wrong, it doesn't matter to him. I can remember in 1999 when they fell out of love with Moi. He resigned completely and got out from Kanu, because when he was taken to another docket which he thought was junior, by then I think that was the Ministry of Industry, yeah, he said, no, I've been even the Minister for Finance, I cannot go there. That kind of principle is lacking now. For example, you can remember the Deputy President and the President falling out, but no one wanted to leave the office, especially the DP. Nyachae could not even waste a word. If you cannot buy into the principles and styles of working with somebody, he would move. Those are now lacking in civil service. When you can't, or when the kitchen is too hot for you, you get out. Those are the things that propelled him to be admired by many Kenyans.
Thank you very much, Mheshimiwa Martin Owino, Member of Parliament for Ndiwa constituency. I am here at the Kisii Stadium also with my colleagues Moturi and Ogutu, who will be joining me later. But Moturi, if you can hear me now, wananchi wanasema vipi kuhusu maisha ya marehemu Simeon Nyachae, iwapo unanipata?
Asante sana kupata kwa njia nzuri kabisa. Yale ambayo umesema ni kweli sana, kwa sababu tunaona kuwa Nyachae alikuwa ni kiongozi kutoka Kisii na aliweza kufanya Kisii wakakuwa na amani, na akaweza, lengo lake kuwa alikuwa anaambia watu kuwa yeye angependa kuona jamii ya Kisii kwa ujumla kuweza kuishi kwa amani na kuweza kuongea kwa sauti moja. Na tunaona kuwa katika siasa zake aliweza kueneza na akaweza kuleta chama chake, na hicho chama kwa wakati mmoja kiliweza kupata wabunge 10 kwa mara moja, na hiyo ndio ule mmoja alikuwa anasema. Na kufikia sasa naona kuwa wananchi wengi wamejumuika hapa, na ningependa kuongea na wawili watatu hapa waweze kutuelezea ama kutuambia wanamkumbuka mzee Nyachae kwa njia ipi. Hey, mama, karibu katika runinga ya KTN News. Naona kuwa umejivisha kwa naona uko kwa nguo yako, inaashiria nini mara ya kwanza, kwa sababu naona wengi tuna nguo fulani, na inaashiria nini kabla tuende kwa Nyachae?
Yes. Okay, today we are here at Kisii Stadium. Our and a competent man of the Kisii Council of Elders. He was a patron. He was a competent man in our Kisii community and also in our nation, Kenya. We say, God, let him rest in peace. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Asante sana mama. Kwa mzee jina lako waitwa nani?
Mimi kwa majina, my name is Engineer Albert Nyaundi. I was the national chairman of Ford People Party. Today is a solemn day for us and all Kisii, and indeed all members of Ford People, former Ford People who are nationally, because we are mourning our leader. We are mourning Simon, who was a leader among our community and in the nation at large. We are all here, very many members, and today we hope to keep the Mzee to rest.
At one time, Mzee Nyachae made sure that Ford People had to stand strong and sweep several seats from Kisii County into Parliament. And you can see you are a Ford People member. What's your take on that?
Well, I was the national chairman when we joined Jubilee. It was a request from the head of state and his deputy that we form a conglomerate called Jubilee. And indeed, Mzee Simon gave us a go-ahead to join Jubilee. and all the leaders who mattered at that time, including the Abagusi Council of Elders, they gave us an okay to join Jubilee. And we are quite comfortable inside Jubilee. We are the leaders in Jubilee. We have a secretariat within Jubilee. So 40 people is alive, 40 people is not dead.
And what can you strongly remember Mzee Nyachae for?
Nyachae, it was just a strong leadership. A mzee who made resolves to go through. There was nothing Nyachae went to try and get that he didn't get. Nyachae was a go-getter. Yes.
Na mzee, kwa majina waitwa nani?
Yeah, my name is Nelson Nyachae Bichanga. I'm a businessman in Nairobi. Muse loved us and loved so many Kisiis who were industrious. And for us, he made sure that we are also going into the Big Four. And he was one of the promoters. And Nyachae, we are very grateful that he helped all the Abagusi who were enterprises. Yeah, let him rest in peace.
Let me go back to kunione kwanta izapata kijana mmoja, vijana mmoja mawili pia ongea. Vijana naona kuwa Mzee Nyachae alikuwa anasema kuwa tuwe na uongozi bora na tukuje pamoja, tushikane pamoja na kwa umoja katika kaunti ya Kisii.
Kabisa.
Na Nyamira kwa jumla, yani Omogusi. Wewe kama kijana waweza sema nini?
Kwa majina naitwa Daudi Abuya, mimi ni kiongozi wa vijana katika kaunti ya Kisii. Nataka kusema pole sana kwa familia ya Mzee Nyachae, na vile vile mimi kama kijana ninamwangalia mzee kama kioo cha jamii. Mzee kwa muda mrefu amekuwa kielelezo bora kwa sisi vijana na uongozi wa vijana, na sisi kama vijana tunamkumbuka mzee kwa wakati mmoja ambapo aliunganisha jamii ya Omogusi, na wakati huo mimi mwenyewe nilikuwa katika shule za chekechea kindergarten, but ninaisoma kwa historia kwamba mzee mwaka 2002 aliweza kuunganisha jamii ya Omogusi katika chama cha Ford People, na hivyo basi akatoa viti vyote wakati huo vikiwa viti 10 vya bunge katika chama cha Ford People, na akaunganisha jamii ya Omogusi, akapigania Omogusi na akaweka Omogusi katika ramani ya kitaifa. Na mzee amefanya kazi mzuri, na kwa kweli sisi kama vijana tunaomboleza mzee sababu amekuwa kwamba ni mti mkuu ambao umeanguka, na sisi tunaona kwamba huenda ikawa hapa mbeleni kama hatutapata mtu ambaye pia atatushikilia sisi vijana ambao tunakusudia kuingia katika uongozi, pengine tutakuwa kwamba tumeachiwa mwanya mkubwa sana.
Sasa na wewe kijana waitwa nani?
Kwa majina ni Brian Mamboleo, ongea kiongozi wa vijana. Today as a young people, we are mourning, and Gusii is mourning. We are mourning a great man, a grandfather, a father, and a mentor to many in our community and the country. As a young people, we are ready to follow the path trodden by the great Simeon Nyachae, and we are ready to imitate his great ways so that we can be at a level or at least have a taste of his tinge. So we are mourning as a young people. We know as a community we have not been orphaned because he mentored one of the great leaders from Gusii, who is Dr. Fred Okengo Matiang'i. And in Dr. Fred Okengo Matiang'i, we believe that the young people are going to be more united and support the elders as our elders have.
Sawa, asante sana. Na kuna mzee hapa pia, tafadhali mzee songea karibu kidogo. Napenda ungatizame huko keuka kidogo. Mzee, naona kuwa leo ni siku rasmi ya kumwaga Mzee Nyachae ulimwenguni.
Halo, asante.
Wewe unakumbuka Mzee Nyachae kwa nini?
Mzee Nyachae, mimi ni Chafet Ombaba Kenyuri. Mzee Nyachae tunamheshimu kama mzee wa Omogusi, Kenya na ulimwengu mzima. Alikuwa kiongozi, alikuwa anasaidia masikini, matajiri na watu wa kila aina. Tunamwombea wote yaliyo mema, watoto wake na wafuate mfano, wafuate nyayo zake. Mimi sitaki kusema mingi, tunaomba usalama hata kwa mkutano wa leo. Asante sana.
Asante sana. Vile tumesikia kuwa Nyachae alikuwa anapendwa na wengi na alifanya mengi. Kufikia sasa tutaendelea kuwapa taarifa kutoka eneo la Kisii na kuwajuza vile ratiba ya hapa itakuwa ikiendelea. Sina mengi kutoka kaunti ya Kisii ila kuwarejesheni studio kwako Brenda.
Mimwangi, thank you so much for the updates that you've given us right there from Kisii, where Simeon Nyachae is supposed to have that final burial ceremony before he's laid to rest. Remember, there was a funeral service that was held here in Nairobi last week on Thursday, and so today is the day that residents of Kisii, together with other senior political leaders, are paying their last respect to the late Simeon Nyachae as they lay him to rest today. But we also understand that President Uhuru Kenyatta is expected to attend that burial ceremony. We might see a bit of some political play here, there, because it is that is what we've been witnessing so far during funerals. But we do hope that what transpired a few weeks ago when there was fighting at the deputy governor's mother's funeral in Kisii County, Joash Mangi, doesn't happen again during Nyachae's burial today. And so we'll give you more updates as and when we get it. But my colleague Murimi Mwangi and Fred, including also Kevin Ogutu, are on the ground. They'll be giving us more details about that, even as we continue bringing you up to date with what is happening in Kisii County. But then back to Nairobi County, and I do understand that the Inspector General of Police, Hilary Mutyambai, and also the Directorate of Criminal Investigations, that is George Kinoti, are actually at the residence